Aquarius.
Hello Aquarius, this is your astrological forecast for August 2016, and what a month especially for you here Aquarius, because why? Well, we're going to have a full lunar eclipse this month in your sign. 25 degrees in Aquarius, August 18th, and it's taking place in the first house, which is you, your personality, the things that you're doing, trying to express out to the world. And whenever we have an eclipse, a lunar eclipse, typically it will eclipse away something out of our life. But listen, Aquarius, don't let it rattle you, because the universe always knows better, and it will never take anything away from you that still behooves you. It's more like these outgrown or outworn processes in our life that will be eradicated. So it can open up new space, new room, and typically, since the lunar eclipses have the power of like 3 full moons, well, it's going to speed us forward in leaps and bounds. So it's an exciting time of what will come now in the aftermath as we start looking into next month, September onwards. So circle the 18th on your chart, but right now we're going to be moving over to where the action is taking place. That's in your opposite sign, in the sign of Leo. This is where we have the sun, we got the new moon, we also have Venus. When it's in your 7th house like this, it's you allowing to have more dedicated time and energy shared with your partner. And you might feel that you're also now being the one on center stage with energy coming from your partner. So it goes both ways. But it really allows you now to catch up with and feel that you can integrate more of your intimacy here. And Venus here in July has been cruising through this area, so you might have felt how your heart has just been really open, mellow, generous, and giving. So enjoy that for that first week of August, because then Venus will move out of this area of relationships, won't be back for a full year, but it is moving into the 8th house, which rules intimacy. It's the Scorpion house. So you could feel that the romance of July and first week of August is now going to go deeper for the last 3 weeks of August, where you can be relating even more so intimately. But the 8th house also rules resources that are shared with your partner. So you might have more talks about it, how you can grow closer, how you can share more in a balanced and fair way. It will be joining up with Mercury and Jupiter that's already there as we start off the month. And so it's in good company. Mercury is all about communication. And so you will find that your communication is a little bit more, when I say intimate, we're not just talking physical intimacy, though that could be that as well. But it's allowing yourself to trust a little bit more, to have money talks, your resources. How are you sharing the bills? How are your saving accounts? Should you do more in this or that area? You might find yourself talking about more taking a long look, a future look into savings for retirement funds, for example, or investments. You might have talks about royalties and commissions with not just your partner, your life partner, but it could be anybody that you work with closely. So if you know that you have things ongoing, don't be afraid to bring it up this month. More power to you, because it's on your side. Whoever it is you're working with, whether it could be supervisor, boss, whether it could be a publisher, whoever, they may not have the same power as you have, because you're the one having it in your 8th house. Now, Jupiter has been working on a top gear for a full year nearly now, since at least late last summer, trying to expand this area so you can get more out of your investments. So it's trying to wrap up. It's speeding through the latter part of the journey in the 8th house. So make sure that you make the most out of it here in August. And so Jupiter won't be back for another 12 years, right? And Jupiter will always want to be generous with you and do the right thing. So it's a great month for that. So we have romance, we have resources, we have balance, we have expansion taking place in securing your path. We have that lunar eclipse in the first house that has with you and your empowerment and where that's going to be taking you as we move forward. So you can see how the stage is being set up here for you, Aquarius. Let's talk about Mars, because Mars is now picking up speed. It was retrograde for a long time. It turned at the very last day there of June. So July, yes, it was moving forward, but very slowly. It takes time after a retrograde to start picking up speed in its course. But as we start off the month, it's at the very last degree of Scorpio, 29 degrees. So right now you might just see that you're wrapping up and finishing certain things here as far as your career. It's in the 10th house of your career, so it's really giving you extra expanded time to make those decisions, to take the action, new directions that might have come up for you. But now, here, Mars will be cruising through your 11th house in August, which has to do with your hopes and dreams. It has to do with your goals, your wishes, but also it's a social area. So you can see how Mars is going to be very socially interactive with groups and organizations, spending more time with friends, and which is a good thing because you've been focused so much on your work here, Aquarius, that you might have said no, needed to say no to social events and so forth because there weren't time or you felt tired. But now just watch how you're going to get your wings and fly in this area. What is exciting too, and I'll talk more about that a little bit later when I get into the calendar part, but that Mars is going to be having a beautiful meeting and a join up with Saturn, which at that time will be moving direct. So since Mars has to do with action, direction, and so forth, and Saturn wanting to give longevity, well, there you have it. Something really super special taking place there on the 24th. I'll get more back to that later though. But we have Neptune still trying to give you a little bit more of an ideal type income where you can work with not just your hobbies, but where you can put your spiritual passion, where you can use your intuition. And I feel that you're really getting the hang of listening to your intuition when it comes to money matters and so forth. For those of you who aren't really hooking into that matrix yet, you might just see how money, yes, can come in, but it goes straight out the door again. It's like holding water in your hand. You know, it could just simply seep through your fingers and you wonder why. Where did the money go, right? Because it's not like you're not generating money, but if you don't learn the secrets of Neptune, it can easily disappear on you. And so this is the magic that Neptune is trying to teach you financially. So listen, we have now on the first a very exciting day. This is unexpected news from Venus. Venus ruling love and romance and so forth, and it's placed in your 7th house of partnerships. And this exciting news will be coming from the 3rd house, which has to do with communication or short distance travel. You could come to see maybe there is a very quickly decided a short trip that you might take, or you could get news, somebody coming in to visit. It could be you and your partner having an incredibly deep, beautiful talk, and along to go with it is the Sun, also in your 7th house for your partner, and Saturn here with dealing with your dreams and your hopes. Something could be solidified here on the 1st of August. So this is wonderful, and you want to carry that close to your heart because we're going to have a little bit of a process too this month. So the 6th and 7th, there might be some decision time coming up, discussions, and you might not see fully eye to eye. Try to not get rattled, try to not get too stuck in it. Just be more so, I'd like to say, the observer of the conversation rather than the participant, because Frustration could flare up. Mercury, if it's not being heard or understood, then that rattles us, and that Mercury is opposing Neptune. So you might find that your partner's not really listening, or it could be you. Maybe you're not listening. So just, say, let's take a rain check. Let's get back to it here in a little bit. And on the 10th, I feel that what wasn't really seen nor understood, whether it was you or your partner, on the 10th you can receive an insight, an epiphany, where this very clear thought may download into your mind. This can bring a lot of healing, transformative energy. Pluto is in the mix. They're beautifully trined, and suddenly you might just feel that you have the solution to what was the issue. This will allow you over the next couple of days, between the 13th and 14th, to try to square things out. And the key, I feel, is listening to what your partner had to say, to see the other side of the scope. This will allow whoever is involved, whether it's your partner, it could be somebody at work, whoever it may be, once you hold their end of the stick and looking through their perspective, they will soften up, they will see your perspective, and you're going to make up and you're going to find this beautiful bridge, which you will see consequences of once we get to the 16th and 17th. On the 16th and 17th, we have the Sun, which is the essence of who you are, still there in the 7th house for relationships, right? So you're radiating this energy of change. Why? Well, because it's in a beautiful aspect here to Uranus in the 3rd house. So this change will come through communication or some news. This news could be radical too, that you might not have foreseen earlier in the month, but here we go. And it's coming together, and I feel there's such joy because there on the 17th, we have Venus, which rules not just love and romance, but also all money matters, coming into a beautiful aspect there with Pluto. Now, Pluto also rules money, but big money, okay? Venus is the change, Pluto is the big money. So you could receive maybe a great contract here on the 17th. You might hear news about a promotion, a new job, or also receiving some funds. Venus now in your 8th house, and Pluto coming from the area of the 12th house. So it looks like whatever is coming to you that you'll be receiving actually has been in the works, in the background, behind the veil. So when it's revealed, well, it's beautiful. So the 8th and 12th house, they're very spiritual houses. So I feel karmically this is something that is owed to you, that actually should and will be coming into your hand. On the 24th, that is that magical day of Mars and Saturn meeting in the sky in a conjunction. So whatever you initiate, whatever you agree upon or sign off on here, it's in the area of not just your hopes and dreams, but with a group or an organization. This will have longevity. Mars is your dynamic goal and ambitions. Saturn is what is wanting to lock it in, secure it for you, and for the long term, not just the next 2 years of Mars's cycle, which it will be coming back to the very same degree, but Saturn will be long gone. The two of them won't meet up in this area of your chart for another 28, 29 years. So you can see it's super important. Pay attention to the 24th. What are you agreeing upon? What are you setting yourself up for? What are you hearing about? What are you investigating? It's in this area of the 11th house, so it will be in that area. But if you know your personal chart, make sure that you check it, because that will show what it will do for you individually. Right now, I'm just doing a group reading. It's your solar chart, which goes for all of you Aquarians. But in your personal chart, you will see which area that it will initiate for you personally. I'll be happy to check that out for you too. But listen, we have another wonderful experience this month, and it's when Venus and Jupiter conjunct here, and that is there on the 27th. So, Venus, love, money, romance, all those things that we feel in our heart, Jupiter touching upon it, sharing that same degree, is going to expand this feeling. And so this could be new love, it could be an engagement, it could be a wedding, it could be a new child, it could be new money, new contract, new job. Wherever it falls into your personal chart, which I can't see from here, but what I can see in your solar chart that we're talking about here, this is going to take place in your 8th house. This has to do with shared resources, it has to do with royalties, commissions, any kind of payouts that could come from investments. It could be inheritances, of course, or it could be news coming in that your significant other perhaps may have news of some expansion going on there, which will directly also come to affect you. So what a wonderful way to end the month. I love reading for you.